right, WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the Universal title.
Great. I'm in. I mean, they've been building that match up for a long time. From the second that Brock got squashed by Goldberg, the second they brought Goldberg in, this was all about WrestleMania. It was from the jump. So yeah, that's going to happen. Sure.
See, I can only go off the notes that I have in front of me. So if I say something and you no-sell me, it's like Chael Sanderson getting a question and saying, "What are we talking about?" Can you help a guy out a little bit?
Yeah, I can. It's just that isn't exactly news. They have been laying that groundwork for the last 12 months. The entire signing of Goldberg was to have him headline WrestleMania against Lesnar. That's what it was all about. So it's hard for me to act like that was any kind of news. If you want my opinion on that match, after Goldberg squashed him a couple of times, of course it's going to go to Lesnar. However, there's anything we know about WrestleMania, they love to throw surprises, so you can never just go, oh, yep, this is what's going to happen. You just can't. WrestleMania they always throw a surprise. The biggest surprise of last year's was Jericho pinned AJ Styles clean. That really surprised me. Didn't see it coming. So is it
AJ pinned Jericho?
Yeah, no. Jericho pinned AJ, did the job.
Which was there.
Which was a big surprise because, again, what you would have thought is that Jericho would have put AJ over, but it ended up going the other way. But the point is this, I don't know. To not have Lesnar, who's a legit shooter, go over to Goldberg ever is tough for me. However, when they did it and it was a squash, it was really a moment that wrestling needed. It was a great way to build this. It was a great move by the writers. It was off script. It was unforeseen. And at this point, yes, I have to assume that it all gets built up and Lesnar gets his payback. However, one thing we know about WrestleMania is once you think you have it figured out, they love to do a swerve. And they did sign Goldberg to an extension, which means they plan to keep him around. At one point, he was done after WrestleMania, which meant, of course, he doesn't leave with the flame. You pass the torch. It goes to the guy that's still on the roster. So it's Lesnar, but they did sign him to an extension, which at least creates the doubt in a viewer's mind. It's great. Everything that's going on with WWE right now has been great. Over the last 12 months, they've nailed it.
Thank you very much for that. Now, that's for the Universal title, which I think they just created. I don't know why they have a Universal title and a WWE title. I mean, for old school guys like me, you got one championship. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. I think Orton gets that, or do you keep the strap on Bray?
Yeah, let's see how that all plays out. You got a lot of leg room there with Orton. That's a good looking, marketable second generation guy. Bray Wyatt, you have the single best character in the history of wrestling. Either one of those guys could go under and not lose any stock. So you're in a good place with those guys.
You know, I've always been a big fan of Stephanie McMahon. Man, she looked good last night or on Monday Night Raw.
Stephanie's great.
Good.
Stephanie's great. You know, and frankly, Shane is too. Both of them get it. They grew up in the business. They get it. They know how to evoke an emotion. I didn't see Stephanie the other night. I'll take your word that she looked great, but she is great for a business.
You know, the Mr. McMahon's going to have a part in that show, I bet. Kevin Owens against my favorite wrestler, maybe of all time, Chris Jericho for the U.S. title.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see what happens there. Owens has never been over with me. He's over with the crowd. I don't get it. Samoa Joe is also over. I don't get that either. There's a couple of guys that I don't understand, but that it works out for. So let's see what happens. Jericho, you know, he could be at the end of his run, and he's a team player. He's willing to do whatever. I don't know if the same could be said for Owen because I'm not familiar enough with him. But let's see what happens there. That match, I could take it or leave it.
Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I love it. Shane is not arrogant enough to put himself over like the rest of that family is. So Shane will probably do the job, but Shane is great.
Do you believe that Shane McMahon is the richest person on this planet that will jump off of a steel cage into a concrete floor?
Oh, I love that setup. Good job. Good job. Yes. There is no other billionaire, okay, born with a silver spoon in his mouth that will jump off of a steel cage just for the applause of his ticket-paying audience. Yes, he is the richest man in the world that will do that. That is a great pinpoint by you.
Somebody, listen, somebody.
Oh, I'm glad you're back.
Somebody.
I'm glad you're back just for that. That's great.
Somebody close to Shane, please wrap your arms around him and explain to him, we don't need it, bro. Go do the match. I do not want to see if you jumped off.
Is this a steel cage match, or are you going back to him and Undertaker?
I don't know what they're going to do, but all I'm saying...
I haven't heard they're in a cage, but if they're in a cage, Shane's going off the top.
Don't try to up that, Shane. Just go out and do you without that. Do your cool dance. Do your money dance. Do all that. Get in a brawl. Stay safe, bud. You got family. You got kids. I don't need to see it.
Thank you for saying that. Hey, because I don't need to see it either. He is the kind of team play. If that's a cage match, I don't know that it is. I feel like if it was, that'd be in your notes. If that is, Shane's going off the top of it. Guaranteed it's going to be the bump of the night. He's going to take it. And if it's not a cage match, Shane's still going to find a way to take some crazy bump. And I love what you're saying. I don't need to see a guy do that either. I was there live at Dallas Stadium when he put the Taker on the table and he crawled up that cage, and I was thinking the whole time, you don't have to do this. You do not have to do this. And a shame on every fan in this building that's peer pressuring you into this, because it's not real.
Not only did he jump off,
that pain you're going to discover is, but this match isn't real, man. You don't have to do that.
Dude, that crazy SOB not only jumped off the steel cage, he got air. He didn't stoop and jump. He jumped. I don't need to see it, Shano. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns.
Shane's gonna take a bump, man. Shane is the ultimate team player. You want to talk about team players, and we love Jericho because he is one. Shane is the ultimate team player. I mean, you want to talk about a rich kid with a rich kid attitude? Shane McMahon.
I would rather see him go coast to coast. He's one of the only guys I've ever seen go from one rope all the way over to the other rope. That's fine. That works for me, Shane. Do a coast to coast. I don't know if it's called that, but it should be. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Is the Undertaker gonna job for Roman Reigns?
Yes. The Taker will put Roman over. I don't like it. I didn't like it when he ended the streak to Lesnar. It was a cool thing. It was a cool thing he had going. I got why he did it. There's just not a lot of 22-year anythings in wrestling, and there was no reason to not make that. Now it'd be 25 years. There's no reason to end that and not have, because we don't have enough of them.
No reason at all, and especially a guy with that much stroke. That was a miss. You guys robbed us. He should still be going. He should go until as long as he wants. And then the last one, I don't care, Big Show versus Shaq.
Okay, and see, I'm in for that. I'm down with that. Again, I want to take you back to last year's Mania. Do you know Shaq was in last year's WrestleMania? Are you aware of that?
No.
Okay, because it was so quick, and I thought there was more that you could do. So they had a battle royal, a miniature Royal Rumble. Where they were running guys out every 30 seconds or whatever the time limit was. And so you need guys to fill that up. And they ran Shaq out of nowhere. Some music comes on and Shaq runs down and he takes a bump real. I mean, he was in and out and in the back in less than 30 seconds, but it was still a great spot. I loved that Shaq came out and went under, let himself get thrown right over the rope. Usually when you bring in an outsider, he insists he goes over. Floyd Mayweather had to go over the Big Show. Just this crazy nonsense, but it's just the way it goes. I remember Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. That never needed to happen. Lawrence never needed to go over, but he said that he did. I love that Shaq got squashed and just had a great moment out there. I hope Shaq's a cool enough guy that he would refuse to go over on the Big Show. That he would refuse, even if they handed it to him, the booking, and said, yeah, you're going to pin the Big Show. He should be a good enough dude to refuse it. I don't know Shaq in real life. Of what I know of him, he's an arrogant prick. So he may have to, but if I go off of history, last year he took the bump, he got squashed fast, hit the back, and had a great experience. That's what he needs to do again. But if he's an arrogant prick, and I believe he is, he's probably going to pin the Big Show.
I'm going to call a run-in. I'm going to call a bunch of other famous people running in. Nowhere near my notes does it say Ronda. I believe Ronda's going to make an appearance at this show.
All right. Whether she does or doesn't, okay.
That's another no-sell. All right. WrestleMania rumors and speculation. John Cena and his girlfriend are facing The Miz and his wife in a tag team match at Mania. If Cena and Nikki Bella win, Cena may propose to her in the ring after a play of the Total Bellas reality show storyline that Cena will never marry her.
Yeah, I mean, she's missing something that Cena wants. So, yeah, I mean, if he wants to do it, fine. Whatever. That's his life, man.
I'm with you on that. Shawn Michaels may come out to help Roman Reigns in his match against The Undertaker, especially if Braun Strowman attempts to interfere.
Yeah, Strowman's a jobber, but they're trying to push him. You know, they're really trying to push him. He's not over with me because he blinks. You know, every time they swarm him, he closes his eyes. He's that kid on the playground. Man, he's got to keep them eyes open if he wants to get over with me.
All right, the last one. I hope they do this.
Strowman can't go out there and be a great, big, huge monster who is so clearly scared of being hit with a fake punch. I mean, these are fake punches, and he flinches and closes his eyes and puts his head down. It's like, Strom, we got to get you in the back and just have some punches thrown at you. You got to keep those eyes open, man.
I hope this happens. If Hulk Hogan was able to make amends with the WWE after his excommunication last year due to racist remarks, rumors are saying he could come out for a comedic duet with the New Day tag team.
Yeah, cool. You know, Hogan's got a place for me, and I think he did his time. I think as far as those racist remarks go, I think that was taken a little out of color as it was. Now, perhaps there's something, I don't want to defend a guy if he made racist comments, but I saw the video where he was doing a podcast with a black guy. Maybe they were both black, but at least one black guy was present, and they were having a dialogue, and he was telling a story. It was somebody else's words, and he was telling the story. And the host and the environment he's from, they appreciated the story and the candor, and those guys just kind of cut up a little bit. And it got used against him. Now, if there's something that I'm speaking out of turn that I don't know about, then I don't know about it. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Hulk did his time, or whatever penance he needed to pay, or whoever made that decision. I like to see him back. Do you agree?
Hulk at every WrestleMania, of course, man. I mean, you make mistakes in life. Everything today is recorded. Everybody has a camera on their phone.